Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And let's continue our NFL Mount Rushmore series by position, where I attempt to name the four best players in NFL history at each position. Definitely not an easy task. Today, we are going to do offensive tackles, and offensive tackles might be even harder, offensive linemen in general, since there really are no statistics that are used for offensive linemen, but if you see their play on the field, you usually know who are the best and who is making an impact, and offensive tackles definitely make a large impact. So again, attempt to name the four best offensive tackles in NFL history. As a subjective list, let me know in the comments at the end if you agree, disagree, who you would include. I'll name a bunch of honorable mentions at the end. Again, not easy. I will also name the players in alphabetical order by last name. They are not ranked. Let's get into it. Starting with Walter Jones. Jones was drafted 6th overall in the 1997 NFL Draft by the Seahawks, played his entire 12-year career with the Seahawks, and was a first ballot Hall of Famer in 2014. He played in 180 career games, starting all 180 of them, was named to the Pro Bowl in each of his last 8 seasons from 2001 to 2008, and also was named to the Pro Bowl in 1999. He was a first-team All-Pro 4 times, 2001, 2004, 2005, and 2007. Also was a second-team All-Pro in 2 other seasons. He played in 10 postseason games with the Seahawks, starting all 10, listed at 6'5", 325 pounds. What a superb pass protector. Also creating holes for Shaun Alexander. Shaun Alexander, former NFL MVP. Walter Jones was named to the Hall of Fame All-2000s team, a member of the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team. His number 71 was retired by Seattle, and amazingly, in his 12 seasons, he allowed just 23 sacks, so a little less than 2 sacks per season, and had just 9 holding penalties, so 3/4 of a holding penalty per season. Walter Jones, the first member of the offensive tackle Mount Rushmore. Next, let's go with a player that some might consider the best offensive lineman of all time, that being Anthony Munoz, drafted 3rd overall by the Cincinnati Bengals in 1980. Munoz played all 13 of his seasons with the Bengals until 1992. He was a first ballot Hall of Famer in 1998. Played in 185 games, starting 184 of them. And again, just an incredible player, as he was named to 11 straight Pro Bowls from 1981 to 1991, and was a 9-time first-team All-Pro. 3 straight seasons from 81 to 83, and 6 straight seasons from 85 to 90. Someone who didn't miss games very often, as Munoz played in all 16 games in 9 of his 12 seasons. He also caught 7 passes for 4 touchdowns in his career. In 2000, The Athletic came out with, I believe a year or 2 ago, their 100 best players in NFL history. Munoz was ranked 12th, which I believe was the highest amongst all offensive linemen. Blocking for Boomer Esiason, Ken Anderson, made a couple Super Bowls with, he made, did he make 2 Super Bowls? He made 1 Super Bowl, and, no, 2 Super Bowls, yes. Unfortunately, they lost both. Munoz is in the Cincinnati Bengals Ring of Honor, part of the 75th and 100th anniversary all-time teams, and a 1980s all-decade team member. Anthony Munoz, the second member of the offensive tackle Mount Rushmore. Next, let's go with a complete mountain of a man, that being Jonathan Ogden, listed at 6'9", 345 pounds. There wasn't many bigger in NFL history than Ogden. He was selected 4th overall by the Ravens in the 1996 NFL Draft. Played all 12 of his seasons with Baltimore until 2007. First ballot Hall of Famer in 2013. Played in 177 career regular season games, starting 176. In each of his last 11 seasons, Ogden was named to the Pro Bowl. He also was a first-team All-Pro in 1997, 2000, 2002, and 2003. Also made 5 second-team All-Pros in his career. Ogden was a part of the 2000 Baltimore Ravens team that would go on to win the Super Bowl. He actually played his first season as a left guard, but otherwise was a standout left tackle for each of his final 11 seasons in the NFL. He was a part of the 100th anniversary team, part of the Baltimore Ravens Ring of Honor 2000s All-Decade team. He also had, in 2007, a 95.0 Pro Football Focus grade. That is the third highest since 2006 by any position. Aaron Rodgers and Trent Williams are the only two to ever have a higher score than that. Jonathan Ogden, the third member of the offensive tackles Mount Rushmore. And last, let's end with a guy further in the past, that being Jim Parker. Parker was selected by the Baltimore Colts in the first round, 8th overall in 1957. Played all 11 of his seasons with the Baltimore Colts. First ballot Hall of Famer in 1973. He's played 135 games, starting 133. Now, he actually spent 3 seasons from 1963 to 65 as a left guard, but otherwise was a left tackle. Did have 1 season as a right tackle, but did enough as a left tackle where I did include him, although I will say he's probably the 4th guy on here. He did win 2 NFL championships pre-Super Bowl with the Colts. Was named to 8 Pro Bowls, 8 straight seasons from 58 to 65. And in all of those seasons as well, he was a first-team All-Pro. Known as likely the best pass protector during that time. Was a more pass-friendly offense led by Johnny Unitas when the passing game wasn't quite as modern, quite the same as modern day, where we see crazy passing numbers. But Jim Parker, part of the 75th anniversary all-time team, 100th anniversary team, 1950s all-decade team, Baltimore Ravens Ring of Honor. While they moved to Indianapolis, his number 77 is retired. Jim Parker, the 4th member of the offensive tackle Mount Rushmore. So again, alphabetical order by last name. We got Walter Jones, Anthony Munoz, Jonathan Ogden, and Jim Parker. Some tough guys to leave off. There's been some great offensive tackles over the years, and I could have named more honorable mentions, but I'll just name these guys. Willie Roaf, Forrest Gregg, Art Shell, Tyron Smith, Joe Thomas, Ron Yary, Rosie Brown, Orlando Pace, Jackie Slater, Ron Mix, and Trent Williams, currently playing and probably the best offensive tackle in the game still. So there you have it, my Mount Rushmore of offensive tackles. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments who you would include. Do you think a guy like Trent Williams could find his way on here? I definitely considered Roaf, Forrest Gregg, Art Shell, and Joe Thomas heavily to be on. I pretty much knew I was going to include Jones, Munoz, and Ogden. Went Parker over them, but definitely would understand if you take someone else. Tomorrow, we'll take a look at the guards, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.